Hey, this is Big Guy DIY Robert coming to you probably much less of a how-to video, but more of a video of experience. As you can see, this boat behind me, this is my boat. This is an old boat. It's a 1984, 4 winds, 170 Marquee. So it's a 16-foot boat with a 3-liter, 140 horsepower IO. Let's turn around and show you what I'm talking about here. So I've had this boat, geez, probably 6-7 years. And for years, I've been battling oxidation. I don't think this boat has ever been waxed since 1984. And so I've been trying to get rid of this oxidation that's all over the boat. Every year, I try something new in regards to compounding it. Sometimes I compound it by hand. Sometimes I compound it by a tool. So here's a sander polisher. These are wool booties, and I've used this to try compounding. So the compounds I've been using in the past have been rubbing compound. I'll do this marine store wax, and then liquid wax. So I've been trying these for years, and then other compounds that are for fiberglass, and nothing seemed to work. Every time I'd work on this, as you can see here, I get these swirls in here. Depends on how hard I was pushing that polisher against the boat hull. When it actually was failing for me, believe it or not, I started putting this on the hull. Vaseline, that's all it is. What happens is, oxidation is really gel coat going dry. That's what it is. So as the gel coat gets old, it gets dry and dry, just like your hands do. And so you got to put some kind of lubricant to bring the moisture back into your hand. Well, gel coat's the same way, and that's what wax is for. Wax brings that moisture back into the gel coat, just like you would do with your automobile. The wax is not there just to reflect the water off the car. It actually helps protect the paint from the UV rays, from the salt and everything else on it, the rain, and it keeps the paint moist, so it shouldn't peel or crack over time. So I stopped using the Vaseline, and I thought, well, I need to try something else. So this year I invested in a compounder. This is a Harbor Freight compound, and it has the Velcro sponge pad on it. And what it is this is oscillating, so it doesn't spin like this does. This always spins. And this is not variable control. This is variable control through the back here. So I invested in this. It had it on sale at the store for, I think it was 69 bucks. I thought, what the hell, I have nothing to lose because I haven't gotten anywhere. Then you have the sponge pads. There are 3 different types of sponge pads. The one I've been using is coarse. Then they got medium, and then they got fine. Fine is for like polishing. So depending on the brand, the colors can change. So this is like a Harbor Freight brand. This is coarse, and it's kind of a orange or pinkish. And then the Bauer one is blue. So even though they're both coarse sponges, you're going to get different colors. So don't base it off that. So I thought, I'll give this a try. So let me show you a boat here for a second. This here is a 2001 Crown Line that a buddy of mine owns. And he had very heavy oxidation, just like my boat does. And I took the compounder to this. Now, I've only compounded it. I have not waxed it per se. But this was all white. All of this. I mean, it was pretty bad. And compared to what it was before, this came out really, really good. I was impressed with it overall. So I thought after doing this boat, what would happen if I used the same product on my boat? Look at this side. This is the passenger side. I was showing you the driver's side. You look here, you can see the line between compounded with the new compounder and with the polisher. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to set up my compounder, and I'm going to tackle this side right here for you to show you how this works. So I'm going to use the 3M Restore Wax. This is an older label. They changed the label for this year, but the name of the new one remains the same. What it looks like this, but it says Restore and Wax in the labeling. Well, looks like I'm going to have to finish all this now. So what I do on this is the pads themselves, they will break down where they'll actually start separating here on the sponge area. So you got to keep an eye on that, because you only get so much life out of one pad. This pad here, I've started the other side of the boat, so it's still good. Probably ain't going to come out because I broke the top. No problem. We'll go to the next one. One Step Compound Adhesive Plus Polisher. So I just put a loop on here and spread it out first. And what you do is you keep going over this with the compounder until it becomes shiny. So after compounding this, I have a bag. Let's see here. Bag of microfiber towels. Two different kinds. This is a thin one I use as rags. And then I bought some thicker ones to use. So next you just wipe it down. And there we go. You can see the extension cord reflection right there. So I had the right product all the time. I just had the wrong tool. So if you're compounding or trying to compound a boat that's heavily oxidized, yeah, I guess the tool does make a difference. Having the correct tool. Now, I will admit, I am no expert when it comes to compounding or working paint. This is totally dry. It's not moist or anything. It's just there's a wax mixed in with the product. So as it compounds it, it's waxing. And the other side I did 2 weeks ago. Hasn't changed. It still looks like this. Boat's been in the water a couple times since I compounded it. And again, usually like when I did the Vaseline or say Protector 303, yeah, the boat looked phenomenal out of water. You put it in the water would wash it all off eventually through usage. This doesn't, it's holding. So I'll admit I'm definitely not an expert on this. What I wanted to do is share my experience on working on an oxidized boat that I've been trying to fix for years on end. So again, I bought this at Harbor Freight for like 69 bucks. And then the two products I've used so far is a one-step compound with aggressive cleaner polish of Meguiar's. That's for fiberglass. And the Marine Store and wax. This is a really good one. It's hard to find. Price of these bottles, I think it was I want to say 30 bucks for this bottle. It's not a cheap product, but I mean, it kind of says it all right there. So this is Big Guy DIY with just a short, quick video. Any questions, I'll do my best to answer them. Like I said, I'm not an expert on this. I'm just sharing my experience, and was working on this for years trying to figure out a way to do it. Now I finally figured it out. Any questions, leave them below. Any comments, leave them below. Give me a thumbs up if this helped a lot or helped a little. And don't forget to subscribe. Have a good boating season.